What's up, everybody? Drew Nelson here again, doing another dip review for you guys. This time I'm going to be reviewing Grizzly Straight, probably one of the cheapest and or like most economical dips. Very, very good, very cheap. Check it out. I also wanted to dispel two slight tobacco industry myths. The first being that there is or ever was fiberglass in dip. And number two, the significance of the little digits right kind of below the Grizzly label, right in there. Yeah, be below the label. Fuck, sorry, I didn't know where I was going with that. So a lot of people think that those numbers are related to the quality of the tobacco, and I'll just tell you guys kind of anecdotally what I think. So let's go ahead and take a dip. Why don't we? Yummers. So I hope everybody is doing well. Oh God. Oh, that's actually kind of like some fairly moist Grizzly. I'm very satisfied with this. I'm very much looking forward to this. Yeah, so I was at the counter and I didn't know what the fuck to do. I was like, should I get straight, should I get Cope straight, or should I get Grizzly? Like, I don't really know. But, you know, let's take a decent one. Hmm. Okay. It never fails. It never fails to satisfy my Grizzly. So yeah. All right. Well, um, first, first tobacco myth that I wanted to cover just really quick. So me and a friend were talking or something like that, and he's an RM with me, but he also dips. So of course, like we have to work the desk and we have to like sit there and make sure that the little light turns green when people swipe their cards into the dorm and whatnot. So naturally, like all I do is dip and play solitaire and like stumble upon and whatnot. Well, he was telling me I was coming to relieve him of his shift, and he was telling me that somebody had told him that those little white digits right there, you probably can't even see them, but it says 94 or 904 943. And it might even be something to do with those golden digits right there. He told me that those were related. It goes from a scale of 0 to 12. 12 being like the top, grade, like top quality tobacco, and 0 being like fucking bottom of the barrel. So he told me that he had finally gotten like a 9 or a 10 or something like that. And so I was like, oh dude, like let me bum one real quick. And honest to God, it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. Like it was just a normal Grizzly dip. I don't think Copenhagen does like I know they probably do quality stamping or quality control obviously or something like that, but I don't know if they do like a stamp. I just know that they have the freshness date. So I've been kind of like looking into it, like, well, like what the hell is that? Um, so I've been looking back and just trying some cans of Grizzly like over the past week. And what I've actually been noticing is even though I thought that 12 was the highest grade tobacco, I think that, and this is like just me, like my personal experience, I think that the lower it gets, it might be better tobacco. Because I had one that was it was a Grizz Wintergreen, but it was a little 2. Like it had a 2 at the end of, you know what, fuck, maybe it's like that right there. Like there's a 2 right at the end of that. And it had a 2 as well. And it was really fucking good. Like it was moist, and I mean Grizzly naturally has a shit ton of stems in it. Like that's why it's cheap. But I think, and I mean, they got a new tin, kind of a new aesthetic to them. So they might have, purchased like new shredders or new processors or something like that. So that might be why they're doing that right now. But yeah, I think I've had a 2. I've also had a 3 that was really fucking good, and that was a Grizz, the 1900, their version of like Copenhagen's long cut. And that was really fucking good. Whereas like, the 9 that my buddy had wasn't that fucking good. Like I thought it was dry, and it didn't really juice at all. Like it didn't have any flavor. So, my personal experience is the lower that this number is right here, you want to be looking for, and I'll kind of put the fucking light on it so that you can see, that little 2 at the end of it. It's like D2 4N or D2 2N4 whatever, and then 2. That last number, if that's anywhere between a 1 and probably like a 4 or a 5, anywhere between 1 and 5, then you've probably got a pretty good can of dip. If it's anywhere, if it's a 0, I haven't even seen a 0 can yet, but I've talked to one of my buddies who did get one, and he said it was like fucking mud. Like, it was moist, it was really moist, but it was also like fucking way watery. So you don't want that, because your hands are like fucking stained, and you start looking like, God, what if my skin color was that? If that was my skin color, that would be so fucking cool. God. Anyways, that's not a racial slur, by the way. That's just me wishing that I was black, because everybody knows it's easy to pick up, like, it's so much easier for black dudes to pick up girls, like, you know, and that's not like a racial slur. Again, like, that's just true. Like, if you're like a very well-spoken, like, you know, well-organized, athletic black man, like, you've got it fucking made. Like, that's awesome. But still, at the same time, I don't know. I'm kind of stealing from one of Louis C.K.'s comedy bits here. But if I could, like, if skin color was something that I could pick, like, year after year, like, if I could just pick a new skin color every year, I would pick white every year. Like, now, like, 30 years from now or 40 years from now, I'd probably be like, like, maybe I'll give Latino a shot. Maybe I'll give, like, African American a shot or something like that, like, when I'm older. But, like, for right now, I'm just like, yes, white. I'll take that again. So, yeah, wow, that was a fucking rant. And, again, I'm not a fucking racist. Like, I'm not a racist. Okay, and you all will agree with me, like, this is the South. It's pretty fucking racist down here. Like, that's no lie. That's real talk. But there is a difference between black people and, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's like, you know, there's a black kid in my class, my accounting class, for example, Reggie. Reggie comes to class every day. He's, like, prepared. Got his calculator, got his pencil, got his lecture handouts. He's dressed nice, like, carries it. He always looks sharp. He's very well spoken. Like, he's extremely intelligent. And I'm just like, fuck, dude. Like, Reggie's the man. One of the guys that works on staff with me, that's an RM with me, Mike. Mike is, like, very well spoken, very smart. He reads, like, you know, he listens to classical music. Like, you know, he's a very, like, cultured person. And then, of course, like, you go down to 5 points where, like, you know, I get treated like a fucking ATM, and I know there's, like, people that, you know, are down their fucking luck, and I'll, you know, give them some cash or something like that, but, like, come on, man, like, you know, there's just a difference, like, between, you know, and that's not I fucking love black people, like, you know, that's just me talking and fucking ranting. The same could be said for white people. Like, there's well-spoken white people and, like, educated white people, and then there's fucking, like, trailer trash, you know? So, like, prime example. It goes both ways. But anyways, into kind of the review of Grizzly as a whole. Obviously, can aesthetics, pretty fucking plain. Like, I don't know, I don't think it's really anything special, but it doesn't need to be anything special because it's fucking Grizzly. And the taste of it, the one thing I wanted to kind of cover was the difference between Grizzly Straight and Copenhagen Straight. Really the only main difference, and I've covered this before in one of my other videos, but they taste the same. They taste exactly the same. Like, I can't tell any difference between, like, the taste of Grizzly Straight and the taste of Copenhagen Straight. Copenhagen Straight might be a little bit sweeter, just by a little bit, but other than that, I really can't tell a difference. The main difference comes in quality of tobacco. As I said before, Grizzly has a lot of stems in it. It's very rough cut, and if you've seen one of my other reviews, I talk about how I just cracked this can, and it is, like, compacted in there. Like, it's a pretty tough, like, thing of tobacco to, like, force your fingers into and everything. Whereas Copenhagen, just kind of your finger slides right in, kind of like in and out of your girlfriend's vagina, and then you, like, yeah, take a dip. I don't know, that was a really bad fucking metaphor. Now, like, I'm thinking about vaginas as I dip, and that's never fucking a good combination. But yeah, so The main difference comes in texture. The texture of Grizzly is pretty rough. It's gonna kind of like rip up your gums. It's not gonna be good for your gums. Like no tobacco is fucking good for your gums, but like still. So Grizzly is rough. Copenhagen Straight is soft and moist, and it sits extremely comfortably in your lid. So yeah, that's that. If I had to give Grizzly a rating, I mean, I bought this for $2.19, whereas like Cope Straight I would buy for probably close to $3 or something like that. So I mean, it's not really that big of a budgetary difference. But at the same time, if you're looking to spare some cash, like I am now, because I'm broke as fuck, then Grizzly is the way to go, especially if you're looking for a good buzz. I've said before, Grizzly does have a higher nicotine content than most other forms of tobacco. I think it's actually the highest nicotine content of any of the tobacco brands. So it does give you, a decent buzz and everything. So that's good. We want that. Yeah, so that's about that. Let's see, what else? What else did I even want to talk about? I don't even know. Oh yeah, well, Halloween is coming up, and I don't know what to dress up as. I didn't know what to dress up as until yesterday when my friends and I went thrift shopping at Goodwill, and it's like there's two Goodwills in Columbia. There's the Goodwill off Garner's Ferry, which is like a general, like normal Goodwill, and then there's the Goodwill Clearance Center in West Columbia, which is like, it's like the Goodwill outlet store. Like they charge you by the pound of stuff that you get, and it's like $1.29 per pound or something like that. So I got like a full Halloween costume. I'm dressing up as a swamp person, like from the TV show. And so I got like a denim vest jacket with a Wheel of Fortune logo on the back, some jeans that I'm going to make into jorts, and then I've also got, my own wife beater that I'm going to like wear underneath it and everything. And I'm going to dress up as, I also got like a really redneck, like racing hat or, something like that. So I'm going to dress up as a redneck. And what better way to wrap up the redneck attire than just throw a massive lip in? And that's going to be kind of the piece de resistance for my costume. So hopefully that works out well. My birthday is actually the day after Halloween, All Saints Day, November 1st. So I will likely be, I don't know, if it's anything like my 18th birthday, for my 18th birthday, a few of my friends got me 18 cans, which was phenomenal. That was like the best birthday present I've ever received, ever. And then, like, a month and a half or 2 months later or something like that, I was shit out of cans, and like that was just bad. But yeah, so hopefully maybe someone will pitch in and like get me 20 cans, because then God, that would be fucking magical. But yeah, so it is about game time right now, so I'm about to go to the USC Tennessee game and see what's going on down there. Hopefully we blow them out and we get back on track, because we really shit the bed against Gainesville, or against UF in Gainesville, and LSU. So hopefully this is kind of the one that gets us back on track. So at this point, I really think that Bama is going to be playing for the national title. I mean, they're always like, they're a good bet for playing for the national title. I'm kind of anxious to see whether or not they'll play against Oregon. And Oregon would be a really good game, because Oregon is fast, but they're really young, which is kind of a double-edged sword. They're young, but they're also inexperienced, whereas Bama has like a ton of experience, obviously, on that big stage, on the national stage. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I'll be coming back with more in about 2-3 days when I can get my hands on Copenhagen Snuff. That's probably going to be the next review that I do. So thank you guys for watching, and enjoy game day.